Have you noticed the tower bells?
Yeah.
Usually a church is only somewhere you can hear something like that. It's in the middle of our campus.
Whenever I walk around and I hear them, it makes me feel happy.
Is there someone whose job it is to play the tower bells?
The hunchback guy up at the top, right? Doesn't he do it every hour?
I've heard that it's a guy that actually does it, but I don't know for sure, so. Do you guys know?
I think there's some guy up there. And that's
A cool
job.
guy that is really skilled
Yeah, at ringing
with bells.
They're mechanized. I would have to say they're mechanized, yeah.
I don't think it's a computer.
It sounded like a bell choir.
It's like it's a bunch of levers that are kind of arranged like a keyboard, right? There's a guy who goes up there and does it, right?
Tom Anderson plays the tower bells. He's been doing it for like 20 or 40 years, but apparently he's really great and he takes requests.
Let's see. My mom was a piano teacher, so she started me on piano when I was 7. And I played clarinet in the high school band and also in UT, the Longhorn band. Came to UT in '39. I was interrupted by World War II. I went off and was in the Navy and came back in 1950. And my sister and my younger brother all were music majors. David, my brother, was the carillonneur, or chimer, I guess maybe I should say. So when he left, well, he took me in to see the dean and say I was showing him how to play, and so I took over. And when I left, I did the same thing with a friend. I played from 52 to 56 and then started again in 67. And so I've been at it since then.
Have you heard any specific songs that you recognize before?
I heard the Marine Corps anthem one time, which was pretty cool.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Michelle by the Beatles.
Amazing Grace.
Raindrops are falling on my head.
Eyes of Texas.
Some Christmas songs when it was like 108 degrees.
One time you played a song from Sound of Music. They should play the Sound of Music on the tower bells.
Try to comment on the weather. If it's real hot, I play Let It Snow. Raindrops keep falling on my head are often heard. Fridays in the fall, I usually play Texas Fight and Eyes of Texas on the day before the football game. But on April Fool's Day, I did play Christmas carols. I do take requests, and most frequent request is happy birthday for, quote, my boyfriend or my girlfriend. We have a lot of international students here on campus, so I get calls on their National Day to play their national anthem, and I do that. On the first day of finals, I used to play Chopin Funeral March. Well, one day a student called me and said I just destroyed him, and he shook up and so I haven't played it since.
The carillon started in the Low Countries, and it started out with just a few bells, and the cities got jealous of each other. It kind of became this competition of who could come up with the most number of bells, and it grew and grew and grew. But then about 1510, we have evidence for a carillon hooked up to actually a keyboard console in Oudenaarde, Belgium. So that's where it really started.
My name is Kimberly Schaefer, and I play the carillon here at UT.
I am sitting in front of a practice carillon console.
On a real carillon, you feel a weight difference. At the very top of the carillon, it's very light. They're very easy to press down, the manual keys. But as you gradually get lower and lower, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. One of these bells at the very top will only be like 30 pounds, compared to the 7,350 pound bell, which will have a clapper that's much bigger, so it'll be much harder to move that clapper.
When the tower was built in 1935 and 6, the Regents installed 17 bells, which meant then that we didn't have a true carillon. A carillon has to have 23 or more bells. So this was a chime rather than a carillon. And we limped along that way until 1986 when an ex-student, Hedwig Knicker, died and left provision in her will to, quote, complete the carillon. We had 39 more bells installed, and so now we have 56. That's the reason that this is called the Carillonneur Carillon. Yeah, Kimberly, I guess we ought to put your name on the board up here.
I think every carillonneur would like to say that they've been playing for over 40 years. I think that's wonderful.
Are you ready for this? It's a big day. All right.
Okay.
It's a momentous day in
Yes, you're in.
carillon history. Just to be able to play these wonderful, loud bells so that everybody can hear down below. It's not an instrument where you go and you pay and you sit down in a concert hall and listen, but it's something that's part of your daily life. When you're walking between classes or walking wherever, it's just something I wanted to do.
I hope people will see it and say, oh, so that's the way you play a carillon. It takes a real live human.